boats. So having blocks on top of the water controls the boat a little bit better and keeps it from bouncing. Wow. Hmm. Huh. That's strange. No, it still broke. Alright, that took some time. A lot of strange things. Seems like the boats can hit the pressure plates. Seems like boats can collide with flowing water. Boats will sometimes get stuck moving in one direction, even if it's against the flow of water. Three, four, no, just a ton of iterations to get this working, and it's very close to 1 minute for a loop, where it'll then turn on this torch. So, gotta clean this up, make it so that nothing can collide with anything, nothing can get in there, everything's well lit, and then I gotta hook it up to something to start counting minutes, and then so on and so forth. So I've made some more progress. The boat is going around. Okay. The boat is going every minute in a loop. I tried to start adding a counter that every minute these would start turning, but that does work for this first one, which is a 20 segment path. The boats are too high to trigger the pressure plate, the wooden one, to trigger the next loop. So we have down at the bottom 1 minute, and then this counts to 20 minutes because I believe that's the day cycle for a Minecraft day is 20 minutes. I should check that, but I'll find out. And then this is supposed to be the day counter in the ones place. And unfortunately, like I said, the boat doesn't trigger the pressure plate with water flowing 3 tall. So I'm going to need to find a solution to that. I have an idea, but I'll have to test that and find out if it actually works. And then I also set up, without testing unfortunately, the tens, hundredths, and thousands boat loop. They're all at 0 state because I haven't reached 10 days and this counter down here can't even trigger in the first place. So, yeah, I need to figure that out. I'll be back when I've got some solution. Alright, I think I've got a working solution. Unfortunately, it made it quite a bit bigger. So this will get the water so that A, there's nothing pushing the boat into a wall, and if it is pointing toward not straight, then it has a counteracting flow so that the net is in the direction the boat is supposed to be flowing and it never collides with the wall. And then B, I need it to be a maximum of 2, so water flow is 8 blocks, so 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And so 2 is what I need for it to trigger the pressure plate. Yeah, I've got this hooked up so that every 20 minutes it'll trigger this pressure plate, which will let this go one forward. Every 10 days, this will go around and trigger this red set of redstone torches. And if I do, like my original plan, want to have this connect to a quarter clock, then I'll need to figure out how to fix this as well, because right now it'll only trigger every 20 minutes. Basically everywhere there's a dirt block here, there's a pressure plate that I wanted to be able to read. Not sure if that's possible. Okay, I think I figured out the solution. Basically I had to make it a few blocks wider and a few blocks longer. It helped that I didn't need every single one to be thin, just every 3, then 2, 3, then 2. Yeah, so I basically had to find ways to fit it so that it went down to the 2 thick. I am suspicious though, so I'm gonna have to test this, because I did see it get stuck here, and I don't know why yet, but hopefully after running for a while it won't have any issues. Now I just need to get this one converted into one that can work for every single one. No skipping this time around. Well, I might have it fixed. I have this specific condition that I have yet to figure out why it's stuck. I thought maybe it's just a little bit too fast when it pulses. Okay, so I'm an idiot. There was a Minecraft log file that was just inflating to 40 gigs. I deleted that, corrupted all of this to be gone, and then I restored a backup because I always keep at least one. Fortunately, it's all back, but that was undone, and I noticed that's not connected. So I solved that. That was easy. That lets it actually trigger this pressure plate, which now these are finally hooked up so that I can do something with their signals. Yep, bit messy. Don't know what I'm going to do to make it look nice. Don't know what shape I'm going to make. I've got up to there to build with. Somewhere in this equation I want a number display and a clock. Alright, so I got all the digital display hooked up with their individual lines for individual segments. I've got planned where I expect the connections to come through, more or less. I've got this digital clock that is hooked up. No, analog clock that is hooked up. I've got this hooked up so that the pulse gets converted into a on-off state, 4-section analog clock hooked up. It just needs to be built the display, but I have the 4 redstone torches, so that'll be really, really easy. Now I just need to connect the 1s, 10s, 100s, and 1000s. Connect that into the digital clock. Not sure what to do with the 1s yet. I think I might have enough space to the side. Maybe. Got this area here to work with. Well, I had tried to have a display each side, but I did not leave nearly enough space for this to be even remotely possible. I still need to hook up the day indicator to its individual counter. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. You can see here it's just crammed. I can barely even get in. All this is going to go by, and then hopefully I'll have enough space to comfortably, easily hook up this part of it. Alright, I've got 3 of the numbers working. I'm going to have lava behind it to make it more visible, but if you could see, the hundreds place is saying 1, the tens place is saying 6, and the ones place is saying 8. So one had to cross over, one had to go straight, one had to diagonal, one had to come underneath all of them. And when I was doing this setup, I was thinking about it from this orientation. So if I'm looking at the thousands, which is the last one to do here, I've got kind of assuming this was the layout, I'm looking at this torch right here, assuming that's the bottom middle of the figure 8 right here. And so I kind of split it up based off the least number of torches needing to hook up to each segment. So for the bottommost one, 9, 7, 1, and 4 all needed to hook up into the ones place, which I think I can see here. If I'm saying this pressure plate and torch represents 9, that's 7, this is 1, and this is 4. I'm pulling out a signal depending on which one is currently active. In this case, I believe I have them all off. Okay, so it's right under 0. So when I click this, I'll want the display to say 0. Shoot. Okay, reset it. Its position. All right, so that should trigger 0. Well, that didn't do what I thought it would. And every so often I find this. What was that hooked up to? What is it right here? Okay, so if this had signaled on when that torch wasn't there, hopefully that wasn't needed for something. I'll find out shortly. So that the boat triggered this torch, which turned this on, which then locked this. I'll turn this off when I send the next one, but for this, I'm gonna go ahead and show invert, put it back. I hop down here, trigger that. All right, so this is on. This is the 0. So I should be seeing 0 go to the bottom left position, the middle position, and that's it. So I want to see a couple things. I want to see one signal going. That's the middle right there. So that was the bottom. This is the middle. It's kind of laid out in this shape, actually. So if I know I'm straight across from the bottom middle, then I know I should be at the middle. So the middle is being connected, which is good. Now I want to see the top left being connected to as well, which looks like is this, and it looks like it is hooked up right now. 0 is hooked up. Is that a torch or is that? That is a torch. That's hooked up to number 1. 1 and 0 is connected to the middle, which is what I'm seeing.